Have you double checked the beneficiaries on all of your investment accounts recently? If not, you're going to want to do it. Let me tell you a real life scenario coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, coming to you right now with a real life story. Just happened earlier this week in a client meeting, and obviously details changed a little bit. Everything's confidential, but a fabulous life lesson. Here's the scenario. Been serving this family for over 10 years or so in varying capacities, and she was a widow and also had some health challenges as well. And so unfortunately, sadly, she passed away last fall. And I've been working with her oldest child to kind of pick up the pieces, but also he now needs planning, right? And so typically comprehensive financial planning, we would argue that's the very best way to make financial decisions and make sure that you have synergy in your financial life. But typically the need or the realization that you need financial planning, there's typically a catalyst, some sort of spark that says, okay, yeah, it's time for me to take this approach. And for the oldest child of this widow, this was the event when mom passed away. And let me tell you one of the reasons. I met with him earlier this week, and we're talking about the transition of mom's accounts and how they're going to flow into this trust, and then what the trust instructions are for when dollars are dispersed and all of that. And then that flew, like we kind of had that flow right into his own personal situation with he and his wife, and there are several kids and funding goals, college, paying off the mortgage, saving up for retirement, all that sort of stuff, okay? So he shares, hey, listen, mom had an account at the bank that she never told anyone about. And I said, yeah, that's news to me. She had never told me about this account. And he said, very uncharacteristic of her, but I'm assuming maybe someone at the bank talked her into something. And I'm having a really hard time getting the dollars, getting the investments dispersed out of this account. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, yeah, I'm hoping you can help me with this. Basically, there was no beneficiary on this account. Mom must have thought that it was in the trust. It wasn't. There was no beneficiary on the account. And so as I informed the bank that mom passed away, they told me about this account. And then they told me that I would need to open up a new account and transfer the money into it. Okay, and then once I did that, then I could withdraw the money. And so he asked me, does that sound right? And I said, well, it's possible they freeze the account. That's common when someone passes away, their account is frozen. And an estate account in this situation, because there was no beneficiary, an estate account would need to be opened for mom. And then from there, it could be dispersed. He says, okay, I think that sounds like similar to what they were sharing with me. And he said, but the other problem is they told me, again, I said mom passed away last fall. He said, I finally got around to having the space to do this. And they said, I couldn't yet because the original paperwork that I received from the attorney was 60 days old. And therefore I need new paperwork from the attorney, and I'll need new paperwork from the bank. What a hassle. What a hassle. And there's around $200,000 in this account. So it's not like that, just $2,000 or a small sum. This is a meaningful amount, and it's creating all sorts of headache. Mom's passed away about 6 months now. He's very busy, full-time job, helps run a company. His younger sibling, also same situation. This is a frustrating experience for both of them. So I thought, what a fabulous lesson. I mean, fabulous lesson. So several things to draw out of this. And number one, make sure you've got beneficiaries on all of your accounts. Make sure that you do, okay? So double check your IRA, your Roth IRA, your 401k. I mean all of your accounts, because as he and I were talking, he said this is uncharacteristic of mom. Number one, that she wouldn't tell anyone about this account. Number two, that it wouldn't be organized like the rest of her stuff and wouldn't have beneficiaries and really in the trust. He suspects she must have assumed that the bank was just going to put it in the trust automatically, but got to be careful with that. So double check. Make sure you've got beneficiaries on all of your accounts. Second, double check bank investments, bank assets, okay? Those are tricky, and this is obviously is the crux of it's the example in this one, but those are tricky to add a beneficiary to at times. An investment account at the bank, should be no problem. But a large bank account sometimes are tricky. So a non-retirement account that you can have at Fidelity, a joint account, individual account, or at the bank or whatever, you're going to want to add something called a transfer on death, or TOD. It's adding a beneficiary to that account. So otherwise, that money would flow right into the estate. And by the way, one of the other nuisance that I've told this client is we're going to need to file an estate tax return as well for each year that this money's, in the estate until it gets dispersed. So maybe a small one for 2021 and definitely one for 2022. What a pain, unnecessary. Okay, so add that transfer on death, that TOD. For large bank accounts, you would add something called a payable on death, or POD. So work with the bank on that. And then finally, make sure that you've got a full comprehensive list of an inventory of all of your financial assets, all of your financial life documented in one place with the where it is, who owns it, the amount, and then ideally who the beneficiary is. And we have talked about this before on the Wise Money Show. I mean, this is sort of basic blocking and tackling in your financial life, making sure that things are organized and structured. You never know when you're going to call upon that organization for, in this case, because an emergency happened, so you passed away, something like that. Or more fun is an opportunity came up, right? And something came up where I've got to make a decision. And if your finances are unorganized, or there isn't a format where you can see your entire financial life, all of it, all pieces at one time, your financial life really isn't decisionable. And so that's the third action step, is to make that net worth statement, make that balance sheet, include all of your investments on there, all of your assets, where they are, who owns them, how much, and so on. All of these things are solved by working with your CFP. Now, I told you I had a relationship with mom. She wasn't doing comprehensive financial planning, was more of a do-it-yourselfer. And so I would give pointers along the way. Have you considered this? Have you considered this? But mostly, she just wanted investment advice. And I tell you every single day on this channel, that's not enough. That's not adequate. You need a comprehensive approach to your financial life. And like I said, helping the adult son through this process, he said, I don't really know what's involved here, but I know I need some organization and structure in my financial life. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a catalyst. Could have helped mom in this situation as well. So work with your CFP on all of that. If you don't have a CFP that's helping you with those sorts of things and bringing clarity, confidence, and creativity to your financial life, you can contact the CFPs on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with a K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.